This is so difficult. Shh. My nose piercing makes it look like I have a bogey, but I don't. So I've been posting on my social media about making a YouTube channel for quite a while, and a lot of people seem to be quite interested. So I just thought I'd make one and just kind of introduce you to the kind of content that I'm planning to make on the channel. So a lot of people have said that they'd be quite interested to see what kind of things I get up to through the year, as I do attend quite a lot of events and I do have quite a busy life sometimes. So I just thought it would be a really cool way to kind of document it and show you a little bit more about what I do and kind of behind the scenes of certain things. So a little bit about me for anyone who doesn't already follow me on social media. I work quite closely with the British Drift Championship. I was a promotional model / grid girl for them last year, and I will be returning this year as well. There's me and another girl who do it. So I'm going to be taking you behind the scenes of that, showing you a little bit more about what we get up to and the kind of planning behind all of the events and things. I do also work really closely with Tucked Automotive, so if you've been to a Tucked show, you've probably like bought a t-shirt from me or something, as I work on the merch stand. So we've got quite a lot of shows coming up this year which I want to take you to as well, because they're always really fun and a lot goes on behind the scenes that people don't really see. So I'm planning on making a few videos about that. My partner is also a competitive driver. He competes in the British Drift Championship, and we get up to so many extra events through the year, like Drift Missouri, private hire days. There's also a couple of demo days that we went on last year which we're hoping to go to again. So again, I'm going to be bringing you along to things like that, showing you really what goes on behind the scenes of my life pretty much. I'm not 100% certain, but I'm planning on making some videos on the restoration of my car as well. I don't know how well that's going to go because I kind of want it on the road as quickly as possible, but if I have time, I'm planning to make a couple of videos about that. Basically, I bought an E36 last year. It had been sat for a while and it's kind of been neglected. The outside of the car is really clean, like the sills are great, there's no rust or anything, which is quite rare to find on an E36 these days, but the inside of the car it's ruined. Hopefully I'll be making some videos on that, but you can also keep up with the restoration on my Instagram and my TikTok as well, because I will be making some little videos on there if I don't have time to make full YouTube videos. So a little bit about my background with cars. I first started getting into cars through my dad, and I know that sounds really cliche, but it's true. My dad was really into his cars in the late 90s, which is when I was born, and all through like the early stages of my life up until, you know, kind of being a toddler or like a young child. I just grew up around him constantly working on his cars, so it was kind of an interest from a really young age. And then it kind of stopped for a couple of years because I didn't see my dad very much, and then when I started seeing him again when I was about 11 or 12, it kind of came back, and I just enjoyed watching him like mess around with stuff and like sit with him and have him explain what he was doing to me and things like that. And then he kind of moved on to more like building his own camper vans. Like he's really into that now. He's built a couple and they are really, really cool. But that's kind of his thing now. He's not so into the cars anymore. He's moved through like cars, motorbikes, jet skis at one point, and now he's more into his vans and things. So that's where it all kind of started from. And then my first like serious relationship kind of progressed that, as the person that I was with at the time was also really into cars, and he was quite, I wouldn't say big in the car scene, but you know, he was quite well known for his car in our local area. He'd been to a lot of shows, and a lot of people who had like the same car as him knew him. So that kind of got me more interested. I started going to shows and like local meets and things, and then it kind of just went from there, and I got into it myself. Now, my car's not exactly brilliant, but it has kind of helped me meet a lot of the people that I know today. I drive a 2015 plate Volkswagen Polo, and even though it's not the most interesting car or the fastest car or anything like that, it really kind of taught me more about cars, introduced me into a lot of amazing people in the kind of car scene that I know today. I've made a lot of amazing friends through having this car, so as much as I hate it and I like slag it off on the internet, I do love it and I will miss it when it's gone. But I'm hoping that sometime soon I'll be replacing this, because I'm at a stage in life now where it's kind of boring and I think I'm ready for something else. I also have a Mark II MX5, which isn't anything special and it probably never will be, but we literally just bought it as a practice car for me to get better at drifting. I've had a couple of hours of lessons already at Teesside, but you never really learn until you're in your own car and you're on your own and you've just got to, you know, kind of make it work. So if I go on any more lessons or any kind of like private drift days or even like a public day, I'll definitely be bringing you along, and I'll try and get like a GoPro in the car or something, or have someone in the passenger seat filming for me. So that's kind of it. I just wanted to come on here and introduce myself, just give you a little bit more information about the content that I'm planning to make on the channel. If anybody has any kind of requests or you want to see anything in particular, please let me know, because I'm more than happy to take on suggestions, and I want to make content that people enjoy watching. Even though this is really something that is just for me to do in my spare time, I do want stuff that I make to be like good to watch. It probably won't be things like installing modifications to my cars and things like that, because as much as that's great content for certain people, that's not the kind of thing that I enjoy watching. I don't have the attention span for it. I'd rather watch, you know, a couple of different clips of a whole weekend rather than a 10 or 15 minute video of somebody like installing a splitter or, you know, changing an air filter or something. So that's not the kind of content I'm planning on making, but if anybody has any suggestions or you want to see anything, please let me know. If you've made it this far, thanks for watching. I'm hoping to get a little bit more confident in front of the camera in future. I'm really like awkward most of the time, but hopefully this is something that will kind of bring up my confidence. And like I said, if anyone wants to see anything in particular, please let me know. Like and subscribe.